homelessness don't have no one face. Homelessness ain't just people sleeping on the train and sleeping on the streets. Homelessness can look like anybody.
If these case managers was doing what they supposed to do, if they was doing their job on working on getting people their apartments, majority of people would not be in the shelter system right now.
Right.
Only 5% will go to house the homeless. Can you look me in the eye and tell me why you're not doing it?
Why won't you commit more housing for homeless New Yorkers, Mayor de Blasio?
Can you tell us why?
5% is not adequate. 5% is
New
not adequate for homeless New Yorkers. We need housing for homeless New Yorkers.
When I lost my rent stabilization, my rent went from $500 a month to $1,319.94 a month, which I could never pay. Went into a women's shelter for 5 years, and February 28, 2020, I got my apartment, and with help from VOCO, which is one of the reasons I'm involved with them, because they're the voices of community activists and leaders.
So we're here to talk about homelessness, which we all know has always been a problem here in New York, but it's now a crisis.
Yes,
it's a crisis. And there's so much we have to do. When someone doesn't have a home, it's very hard for them to put their lives together. If they have kids, for the kids to get an education, to even have food. So tell me what you think about what's going on here in New York, and let's talk about what together we can do about it.
We need HAVP, Housing Access Voucher Program,
right,
for all the people in the state, because everybody deserves a place to live.
You bet.
Housing is a human right, and housing is health.
Right. When COVID showed the spotlight, it showed what was wrong, and so many people who didn't have homes then, of course, because housing is a health issue,
it's a human right.
Passed away. It's a
Housing
human right. That's right.
All these people in between, whether it's a shelter staff or different agencies, to me, are just barriers.
Right.
It makes no sense to me. So we need to cut that out as much as possible.
We need vouchers, we need help for the homeless, we need more housing, affordable housing. Much better to give people money that they can afford housing, and that causes some housing to be built.
The reality is, right now in New York City, 87% of all single adults in New York City shelters, like this one behind us, are black and brown identified. Telling us that homelessness and housing insecurities and crises are racial justice issues. Homelessness is as racist as police violence. Homelessness is as anti-black as mass incarceration. And we gotta be able to hold that complexity. We need the Senate to do that. We need Albany to do that, and we need City Hall to do that in New York City.
You bet. I'm with you all the way, and keep fighting, because you are right. It's a racial issue as well. And it's also because there is bigotry in terms of finding housing, building housing, etc. It all fits into one big piece of the puzzle.
When communities are starved of resources, when people don't have what they need, what do you expect to happen? This is not the time to blame and point fingers at the most vulnerable community members.